in the sense that I do believe that a woman has a right to her body.
Yeah.
I do believe that we should have the right to do whatever we want with our body. No means no, no means no. Prevention is better than cure. So, but if you can't, you now are pregnant and you can't have the child, I think there are laws for that where two doctors have to come together to decide if. Now, it could be a psychiatrist. It could be... Some women should not have children.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that some women don't have any business
having
children. And unfortunately, they're the ones that usually
are very fertile,
very productive. Yeah. And they just... like rabbits. Just give birth.
But I have a question though, because you mentioned a lot of medical reasons why it would not be possible for, or why we would allow for the woman to not have the baby. So are you saying that, okay, I am in a relationship and I knowingly had unprotected sex and turns out I'm pregnant, but we are not ready? Does that still qualify? Because I like the reasons you gave, psychologically not ready, rape, and all of that, but and not knowing. But this one, I know.
Okay, first and foremost, for you to have intercourse with another person, you're alive, you were not tied up, you were not forced into it. It was a consensual thing.
Yeah, consensual.
And then when it happened, there's something called protection, and you didn't protect. Then after the situation and the thing happened, there are drugs that you can take to prevent it from happening.
And you didn't take.
You missed all that. And a whole month came, and then you now missed the period. Let's just continue missing it.
Now get to this point.
Because it's about responsibility.
Yeah.
It's about responsibility. Yeah. It's about we're not giving excuses, because the thing is, you have the right to your body, but when another life is in that body, you have the right to do the right thing by that person. By that child
in you.
Now,
there's a couple
levels.
of points.
Yes, but there are levels also. There are windows.
Okay.
Also where you can check. There are windows where before the first heartbeat starts.
Yeah, you can check if there's a disability with a child or something.
In fact, by 5 weeks, you're already from 5 weeks to 6 weeks is when the heart starts beating. So you already should know
that is a human being.
Yes, so you know if you want to.
Am I keeping?
Yes, you know.
So which leads me to another question. I'm sorry. Okay. So while I was young, I had some single friends that actually were on birth control.
And it fails. Yes.
No, so not the fact that it fails. I just felt like, wasn't that encouraging?
Well, the thing is, for me, I think that it's better you prevent. So prevent meaning, if it's birth control, abstinence is always the first thing, the ABC.
Even in medicine,
touch, everywhere, abstinence is the first thing. Second one is be faithful to your partner. Be faithful, don't do it around. Then the third one is condomize. So if all these things are there and still you now decide that no, you want to be, the sad thing about this abortion and no abortion thing is people wait till like 4 months, 3 months
before they decide, which
and
is
I'm
very
like,
unfair.
That's horrible.
What is going on?
Horrible.
That's actually a human being by this time.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
So should women have the decision, make the decision to do birth control? When
you're married? No. It's both of you.
So sorry, I just want to jump in there because I hear this whole it's a woman's body. So it is her choice.
It's our body.
Sure, it's her choice. She wants to do what she wants, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problem. When it comes to birth control, it's not the woman's responsibility alone. No, it is the man. No, that's what people... So it's not the woman's responsibility alone to do the birth control.
It's the woman that will take herself.
No, check this. But it's now the woman alone that has the choice to her body. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I feel like it's just hypocritical.
I get what
if we both are supposed to be responsible for ensuring that we do not even get to that point in the first place. When we get to that point, we both make the decision. There's no, to me, there's no such crap as is your body
No,
crap
so me,
at that
I'm
point
just
in time.
asking.
No. It's not. I'm not even, it's not
Okay.
about your question.
Okay.
I just felt I needed to because
Get
of
it out
where the
there.
conversation was going. Because to me, it just seems hypocritical. Like, what are you talking about? If it's about condoms or whatever, we should both decide. Then when it's about the possibility of another life, it's only you that gets to decide.
Oh, I get your question now. Okay,
Like
okay.
that's just
it's
rubbish.
both
Because it was both of you that actually.
Yeah, we
the
did it
act.
together. So we want to decide. We decide
both of
together.
you.
You can't be telling me it's your body. What do you mean it's your body? It's my seed. So I put it there. So I have a right.
So that's the thing about this abortion and no abortion thing, because he now doesn't have a right.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's now the only one that has a right, and
Deciding.
you can't say that you're going to just kill my
Solely
child like that.
kill
Just-
it.
Like doesn't make sense to me.
the thing about spirituality is that it's more intimacy.
Yeah.
And it's a different vibe in the sense that for you to be intimate spiritually, it makes it easier, because the truth is marriage isn't a bed of roses.
No, it's not.
Marriage isn't just a walk in the park. And if you can have that level of intimacy too, it just makes it easier
Yeah, for
and
you.
stronger, in the sense that, for example, you said you spoke to God that he should come to church. And then if something's going to be serious about it, then he should come to church. There are times where I'm upset with my husband and I don't know how to talk to him, because it will come
I
off
say
as
that
if I'm
too.
upset.
And I say,
I'll
God
just
is your child,
I
though.
said, you need to fix this man.
Yes, I do
You need to fix this man before I
do something.
You need to
So that's where the
fix
thing
this.
is.
Yes,
That's where
you
the
need to.
jazz
Yes,
is.
And then
no.
God's so faithful, he will just come, because God is a merciful God. He just comes and it's totally different. I'll behave as if it didn't happen.
Don't mind him.
I'm happy
When
to
he's
see
done it
happen.
before. But I think there was one time we're having this whole sex issue, or me not making advances, and he's just randomly saying, God, I'm tired. Can't this woman just desire me? And I don't know, for some strange reason, I was
Started
like,
desire.
I was like,
Desire came
I'm
upon
like,
her.
what is wrong? Like,
Came upon her.
you know, I was fighting like, I beg, I'm not in the mood. And then I'm like, what is it now? Then I think, and I said, how fine? I said, he said, Father, thank you.
You are here. Thank you, because you're always here.
So
Yes.
it works. It works. It
does
actually
work.
does,
It
because
does
it just
work.
lets you know that God is actually intentional about
It
all
does
of
work.
us.
It
You know.
does work.
So I was going to say that. So what if even people in the same Christianity, like you have Catholic and Pentecostal,
There are already issues. Everybody
how do you
just,
raise the kids, or
yes.
and then
So I think parenting is really key.
yes,
It is.
If you guys are not able to already even just have the same value or belief system, how do you now pass that on
to your children.
Like, what are you passing on to children?
I think it's even two questions I have for you. My second question is, why doesn't the church tell us about issues in marriages? They buttress these things.
Yeah,
They just say, oh,
They don't.
you have...
They don't buttress these
Okay.
things.
No, sorry, they don't buttress these things. They just say, oh, you have to sleep with your husband. Oh, you have to cook for your husband. Oh, don't bring third party. When there are issues of, in case your husband doesn't believe in God again.
I mean, that's a real thing.
Like, we don't have this kind of conversations
It
now.
is, and we should. That also goes back to, we're talking earlier about church. It
Yeah.
goes back to church. Church is not supposed to be just where you gather. It's a family.
Yes.
And once you know you're that family, you're stuck in that family, then you should be able to remember the fact that it takes a community to raise a child.
Raise a child, yes.
So when they say, oh, don't tell this person, don't tell this person, if you have a trustworthy friend, you should tell somebody, you should talk about it, because when we don't talk about things is where we get into challenges and we get into issues.
And make
when
wrong
you can talk
decisions.
about it, we're in a group where we used to talk about
A lot of things. I was still telling him
things. I'll be like, oh my god.
there was still one discussion that we had one time that we didn't realize we're being judgmental, and it kind of raised that judgmental thing. We had a friend that her friend had passed, and so she just randomly said, oh guys, I know someone that wants to marry. Her friend was sick, the friend
Yeah.
died, and then the friend's husband is asking my friend out, what do women think? And we finished Jesus. We said, no, she's purposely doing it. And then it turns out that she says, it's me. And everybody's like, oh.
That hits different.
That is different. But
You know the person now. She ain't a witch, right?
Exactly.
Everybody's a witch until it's your sister.
Until it's your sister.
Yeah.
So, but why are we so quick to... Because it was a Christian setting.
It
Yeah,
was, it really was.
but but it's also a human setting.
Yes, because no, why I mean
And
a
we're
Christian
women
setting,
with
like we're women
emotions.
with emotions, and
How
the person is a
about-
pastor, and everyone's like, no, it's a lie, and then we now realize that, oh, we're actually being judgmental. We're not sharing that Christian, that love that we're supposed to share to people. I'm like, okay, what if,
I think honestly, people have this presumption that, and it's people in church and it's people outside church, that being a Christian makes you perfect. That's balls. If you are perfect, then there will be no need in the first place.
You shouldn't even be here on earth.
Do you understand? There will
They
be no
shouldn't
Go
be
to
here,
heaven.
go to heaven.
Just go.
It is imperfect people trying
To be perfect.
walk with a perfect God. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So you thinking that you know everything. Like I mean, things have happened with us in terms of church, religion, and all that. I mean, we've had issues in some places. We've been in places where we didn't believe certain things. I personally have worked in church. She was with me and all that. And there are times when, these things rear their head. So I remember in one particular instance where, my wife, I like her to dress a certain way. And this particular female pastor was like,
Brother Rogba.
Brother Rogba, your wife's dressing. I just don't think, as a woman, she needs to carry her. And I looked and I said, who died and made you God? Last I checked,
It was
he's not-
reporting your
he's
wife.
still alive.
Yes,
To
a
me.
whole human being.
Yeah, I was like, who died and made you God? What's your business? She's my wife. She's his daughter.
It was affecting him.
It's not
Maybe
your-
the thing was affecting
It was a
him.
woman.
It was a woman.
That's the
Oh,
painful one.
really?
That was why I was really upset. I was
Like
like,
a female pastor.
what's your business?
Reporting you to your
Yes.
husband.
I was like, what's your business?
That's the
So it's not like
problem.
she had a conversation with me.
Yeah.
No, she
That's
didn't.
She never came
She
to
just
me.
came to me.
She just went to him directly. I was like, oh no, brother Rob, I think
The
you
way
need
she
to call your
dresses,
wife
you need to
to
call her
order.
to order. And
That's
I'm like,
gossip.
I'm like, call to order. What's wrong
That's
with that?
gossip.
I think she even started with, have you seen how your wife is dressed? I'm like, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that was his answer.
And she was like, well, as a woman or blah, blah, blah. And I was like, who died and made you God? And she was like, excuse me. I was like, yeah. Last I checked,
Thank
she's
you.
my wife,
and I
his
like it,
daughter.
yeah.
I love the way she looks. If you don't like it,
Sorry.
come out I. She's not like she's opening cleavage or she just wants slits. What's your business? Like,
Wow.
your standards are not my standards. Don't bring your. So, I mean, I didn't because of that now start saying, oh, Christians are evil, or every pastor is the devil, or everybody's just judging. No, I think we're all human,
Yeah.
and we're all just
Trying to walk the path.
Because if we could do it.
So you didn't answer the question of the parenting. If you had the
Yes,
Catholic
so-
and Pentecostal with raising the kids,
I don't even
This
think
should
it's a
have been a
Catholic Pentecostal. I think
conversation.
it's
This should have been a conversation before you got married.
Yes.
Okay.
So that when you now marry, you're just flowing into the plan. You're
Plan,
just going by
okay.
the plan. There's no argument
About it.
And I remember when before I got married, my husband was in a different church and I was in a different church. We had to have that conversation. I was already a pastor. But normally the woman is supposed to join
Move
her
to
husband's
husband's
church.
church.
Had to talk to him, beg him and say, this is how it's going. Let God talk to you too. He came back and he was like, oh, fine, no problem. In that scenario, we can't go to, the scenario where people let's go to mommy's church. Let's go to daddy's church.
Yeah.
First and foremost, the Bible says the man trains his child. So the man should train the child the way the man should train the child. So
the responsibility of children is even more on the man.
It's the
And
man.
men, they'll be
We
saying
are
the woman,
we are
the woman
the
is supposed to.
helpmates
The woman
of
is supposed
the
to.
man.
Okay.
So men say, hey,
So really,
your children are
in making
wayward,
that
it's you.
choice,
It's you.
it's
not
him.
The
It's
mother.
him.
It's him. So when you decided that you wanted to marry this type of person, you should remember the fact that he's going to choose where your kids go, what church they attend, how they grow. His values
If they
will now
attend
be
church,
their
of course.
values.
Values.
So it's him.
Oh, really?
We're following him. The only thing you can do is speak. Both of you should have that conversation,
And
have
then
a
be on the same
compromise or
page.
no
Yeah.
compromise. But it's
always be
him.
compromise.
If we're going to go to one person, it's his church. They will all go. Also, if you want to follow them, you will follow them to his church. You can attend their second service in your own church.
Your own church.
But you follow them to his. It's him.
Oh.
It's him. So with these things, the thing about religion is, for me, Christianity is, what does the Word of God say? There should be no argument with these things. What does the Word of God say?
So
Let's go back to
there's
the
this
word.
thing that we always talked about how in any relationship there should be an authority.
There should be.
There should be an authority. Now, for us, it is God, it's the word of God. But if for you it's not the word of God, no problem. What is the authority? Because being in a relationship with someone who has no regard or nobody that can speak to them
him.
or nothing that can hold them responsible,
The most dangerous
it's
thing.
dangerous because that means that person can do whatever they like
want,
without any consequences. I mean, if that person is the person's father, so be it. Do you get?
But
If
there
it's
has to
just
be
an
someone.
older person,
There has to
if
be.
it's
There has
just
to be
if it's
someone.
the law of the land that is the authority, let there just be something
that
you can always go back to and say
That's
both of us
person.
need to agree because this is
Law
what this
says,
says.
yeah.
When you just like
Could be
he
messy.
doesn't listen to anybody, he can do
Nobody
whatever
can
he
talk to
likes,
him.
or she
Or you
she's-
laugh about it.
yeah,
He
it's
doesn't
cute.
listen to anybody.
It's cute.
Oh my God.
She
This
just does what she wants to.
10 years down the line.
You will come back and tell. You will come
Oh
back and tell
no,
us
it's a disaster.
the tale.
It
So
is,
yes,
it is.
yes, I think I agree with you.
It is.
So I mentioned earlier that, even if you're in the same religion, and so it's a two-part question, and say one person down the line, something maybe significant happens to them, and then they stop believing in God or whatever being it is that they
both
believe
agree.
in, that they both agree and believe in. Or if so, in the journey, say for example, myself and Rogba, initially I was the spirit coco. Oh Lord, I had a fantastic relationship, but I'm working on it. And then it has now changed. He's now hyper spiritual, and sometimes I feel like it's a bit much. Like I know you would think that because I was spiritual, I should understand. So what do you do in those in
Market
that kind of?
you went to buy a market that you didn't bargain for.
Apparently I got more than I ordered for. So what do you do in that kind of situation? Or what would you advise?
Okay, in the situation where one of the spouses stop believing in God, I remember when you take your vows, you say for better or worse, richer and poorer, or richer and richer, and things like that. Something has happened.
Yes.
Something would have happened. Most times it's usually something that has to do with inner healing. The person's finding their way back to God. Something has happened between him or her and God, and you believe God will sort that out. You'll just stay as a faithful, fantastic, let's say, wife,
Spouse.
and then just be who you are, be loving. Love solves all things. Love, in the middle of love, you can find every solution. So all you can do is just back that person up with love and keep praying for the person and hoping. Also keep pushing, nudging. What can we do? You can also trace why it happened. Most times it's usually a traumatic experience that has made them say, I will never believe in you again after you've done this
to me.
So we just take them through that. If it means counseling, talking to, we hope that they'll find their way back.
And then God self has a way of
God is calling
his
his own
children.
child. Yes. The second scenario is when the person gets more spiritual than you.
or even not just more spiritual than you. What if both of you actually didn't believe in God? And then all of a
Now,
sudden,
so one person
has
in
now
God.
and is now on pastoral track. Like,
Before
hello.
you become that person, we'll talk. Oh no! Like my husband's a full-time minister, but he's not a pastor. He's a musician, but he's not a pastor. I was the pastor. Now all of a sudden, it feels like
He's more.
he was the pastor, and I was just acting for him. But the thing is, coming to a realization of the fact that why are we married?
Yes.
We should always have that conversation because you're his helpmate. You're her helpmate. That means that both of us are working together to make that purpose work.
Yeah.
And if it means him being a pastor for that to happen, I will support you in being a pastor for that to happen. What do I need to do to get you to that point? So it's both of us coming together to make sure we fulfill that purpose. Now, if he has to be more spiritual at that time in his life, something might be going on, something must have happened that goes to that point. But it also would help if you also come up to that point of spiritually, so that he doesn't feel dragged or drained, or he feels that he can rest on something or someone. For example, at home, if my husband is expecting us to fast about something, he will fast. Then I would encourage him. I'll make sure I don't cook, this type of food. I'll make him not fast.
But it's not that we're both. We don't have to both come and be hungry.
So it's just about both of us are lovers, both of us are together in this. And if you want to be that, like for example, I'm a doctor now, and he's a musician. He's hardly home. I'm hardly home. But we have to get that compromise. We have to fix that so that we also have a relationship. Even in religiousness and in spirituality, we have to have a relationship. Like Rogba was touching your hair and moving it back. I was like, we're still in front of the camera. You can calm down. Things like that. There has to be that relationship.
Kind of relationship.
So if we're pushing towards that upward goal, then fine.
Okay.
Awesome. I think you've really shared a lot with us today, and I think your perspective helps. So that I've learned quite a number of things from this conversation, and a few things have been reinforced as well. but I like the fact that you're open, honest, and what we try to do here is just share our experiences, talk about the lessons that we have learned, what has helped us so far, but not in any way imposing our opinions on anyone. And we also understand that, there are so many diverse situations that people can be in. So it's not a one size fits all. What works for us may not work for you, but we hope that,
general tips would be...
people have been able to take a few things away from this. And as usual, guys, if you have questions, you have comments, please send them in. If you have contrary opinions, please send them in as well.
We're happy because we could also learn from you guys as much as
well. We're in the process. We're not the experts yet. We're getting there. And we just want to we want to figure our way through this thing and make sure that we're doing great, just as we want you to do great. So, Dr. Shai, thanks a mil for coming.
Thank you so much.
It was
nice being here.
Enlightening and interesting.
Thank you.
So, do you have any tips you would give to single
or married or people that didn't have the
based
conversation
on
beforehand?
It's about for me it's about you. It starts with you. Everything starts with you. If you know who you are, what you want, that is what will make you attract what you need. In the sense that I am not going to attract what I don't need. So if I'm going to get married to somebody, it has to be somebody I need, somebody that will complement what I already have. So, and also I can't give what I don't have. So I'm not going to make promises to a spouse that this is how I'm going to be. I'm going to cook 3 meals a day. I'm the one that's going to be changing the diaper and stuff like that. No. So, and two, assumption. We don't assume. Ask, speak, talk. Don't assume that, since let's say my own father is a bishop and your father is not a pastor, we'll all just go to my father's church. So when we don't assume, have a conversation
about it.
And it will take us a long way. Then 3, finally, trust your decisions and own your decisions, so that if I was wrong, I will say I was wrong
about it.
And if I'm right, I'll say I'm right.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Thank you so much. So I think for me, what I've been able to get from all of this, just to add to what she said already, is keep the lines of communication open. Just keep it open. Put it out there. Share your values, your views, your opinion. Like, this is what I believe in, and just let the other person now decide what they want to do with that information.
And now we come to the part of the show where we have our challenge.
You want to disgrace me? Say
Today we're going to be doing riddles. So you guys ready for this?
Hey, I'm not.
Okay, so riddle number 1.
What do the letter T and an island have in common?
Thailand.
What do letter T and an island have in common?
They both have, I don't know.
Nothing in common.
They are both in the middle of water.
Where's
the water in
Water. The word water.
Oh,
Wow.
We will not
Wow. This
we will
riddles
not
are
get any
riddles.
video.
This riddles.
What kind of ship has 2 mates but no captain?
Relationship.
well.
Okay, so I'll ask 3. Who has married many people but has never been married himself?
Surname.
who has married many people, but
Priest.
has never. No, yes, I was going to say a Catholic priest.
Oh.
What can you catch but never throw?
Feelings.
Your breath. What can you catch, but
Achoo.
never
Sneezing.
throw?
Sneezing.
A cold.
A cold. Oh, right. Okay. Half
But you
point.
can catch your breath and not throw it.
That's not the answer.
But that's but
I can
answer by
catch
according to them.
It's not my answer.
You can catch
You can
feelings,
catch
but you can't
feelings
throw
and
feelings.
not throw feelings.
Yeah, let's cancel that.
That I finally got it. You would just
No, it's not the priest one now.
Right.
Okay.
What runs around a whole yard without moving?
The fence.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's two.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone. Anyways.
We can give him.
What has many keys but cannot open a single lock?
Piano.
Not doing well.
Thank
So as
you.
always, Rogba wins.
It's not always. I mean,
It's okay.
on a
Thank
couple
you,
of times.
Dr. Shayo, for coming.
Thank
It
you
was
so much for
fun.
Thank you guys for watching. Catch you again
And-
next time.
Bye. When they threw my tissue on the
Because
floor,
you are going to hold it in your hand. You can't hold it.
why can't I hold?
Because it will just look weird. Are we good?
It's been a
Please,
pleasure.
you're standing in front of the cameras. Sit down. Thank you.
I did not move it to.
Ah, this
Oh,
hair.
God.
This hair.
If I did, don't
This
touch
hair.
it.
If not me,
Don't ever touch the
on
hair.
camera, now I go come out this week. Is there anything else?
So do we go?
So we can wrap up.
Okay, so if have you called the gate
Okay.
for her?
I don't understand this shoot. I would throw cup at you.